Hi, this is Renee Michelle. Welcome to Spiritual Awareness. This spiritual awareness is about self abuse, right? I'm Renee Michelle. This is my channel, Chronicles of a Hoodoo Spiritualist, and we are talking about self abuse. Self abuse is you entered a long term abusive relationship. You're leaving your abusive home for the first time, and there's nobody abusing you. Nobody tell you how bad you look. Nobody's physically hurting you. Nobody's doing anything to you. And there's a weird feeling that happens because we don't know how to pursue happiness, and we don't know where to go from there. We don't know how to live a life where we're not being abused in some form or fashion. So we will selectively, get involved in abusive relationships because that's all we know. We will, stay connected with people that are abusive, knowing they're abusive and not letting go because we don't know anything else, right? So there's a point in your life where you know that you're being abused by several people in your world, and you let it happen because this is all that there ever has been. It's all that it ever was. You know what I'm saying? And even still, when there's no one around the abuser, you'll put yourself down like, oh, I'm not that good looking or whatever. You will just constantly put yourself down or create huge debts and have, bill collectors calling you and you know what I'm saying, and just put yourself in situations where, oh, I got all this stuff going on, this person, that person, this person, I don't have no time, blah, blah, and it's all just you building this world around yourself where people just take, and it's really your choice to be around the people, but you feel like there's no choice because you never had a world where it didn't exist. And when you do, and you don't have anybody around saying that you look bad or that you're too fat or whatever, you'll say it to you about yourself because you're so used to hearing that commentary in your head from someone else. So we're gonna ask the cards, God, angels, spirit guides, everything, to come in and help us the best way to deal with and get through self-abuse. Because we can't continue, because all of this happens after we leave the home. All of this happens after we leave a long-term abusive situation where we just continue to put ourselves in the line of abuse because we don't know how to live a life without it. We never lived any other way. And how to get comfortable with the uncomfortability of being free from abuse. Just making sure it's still taping. And we're using the full deck. Not just the major arcana. So it's a primary concern, right? The self-abuse, right? I have the Star card, and I feel like they're trying to tell you that you are the star of the situation. The Star is about a divine energy, about getting your wish, right? It's about being led by God, right? And I feel like for a lot of you, this is not... there's a lack of faith. There's a lack of faith because, you know, God has failed you in some way by putting you in these abusive situations, by not creating this happy home in your childhood and in your present. There needs to be a reconnection with the divine, with the God of your understanding. And if you've never known one to be, then you need to come up with something that will, that you can rely on to give you the hope and the faith that you need. Everybody goes through things for a reason, and we may not know the reasons right away, but they will come to view in time. But you have to have a strength of faith and hope. And when we grow up in abusive homes, there's a lack of hope as soon as we leave the door, as soon as we walk out the door. There's a lack of hope after an abusive relationship. So we hurry up with the first person that we find and go back in it because what else are we going to do? We don't know anything else. But if you trust in God, if you trust in God, He will guide you, He will lead you. He will lead you to happiness. The main reason, the motivating reason for seeking help is the feeling of defeat. It's the feeling of being, you know, put down for the last time. Like, it's just like, come on. I just keep getting stabbed. I just keep getting hurt. We got the Five of Swords here. And it seems like they just keep walking away scot-free with no repercussions. Spent. All your self-worth and self-esteem are gone, and just emotionally overwhelmed. What's going on now that's really concerning is that you guys are bickering and arguing with people. right? Territorial. That's what lions do. They argue and they fight for territory. You know what I'm saying? And they fight over men and over situations that make no sense, that have no real monetary value, no real value spiritually, anything. Just foolishness. Just barking. Bark, 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 bark. No common ground, no sense of self. You know what I mean? Because there's these arguments that are going on is just trying to feed a self-worth that's not there. I'm going to win this battle because I'm tired of being beat up by people. I'm tired of being beat up by people, so I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight and I'm going to fight and I'm going to fight because I'm tired. I'm tired. You fighting against people that you don't even need to be fighting against. They ain't got nothing against you, but you just fighting against everybody. Everybody getting it. Right? Because I'm not happy, everybody's getting it. Because I'm fed up with people picking on me and abusing me, everybody's going to get it. Not realizing and understanding that you chose to be in these situations, you can clearly just walk away without a word being said. There's nothing that need to be said. Nothing. I blocked your number. I blocked you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Pinset, everything. Because I want you out of my life. I don't need to explain to you. I don't need to sit here and fight over stupidness. But without these arguments, without these people doing you wrong, what is life about? How do you live with actually nothing going on that will hurt your self-esteem and self-worth, that will hurt you at all? If everything was good and wonderful, what would be your reaction to that? A fish out of water. What you are unaware of at the present is the Queen of Pentacles. Has nothing to do with money. Has to do with the fact that you're more emotionally secure than you think you are. You built up a lot of strength over these years. You're more grounded than you think you are. Yeah? Doesn't she seem like she has a strong sense of self? But underneath the surface, there's a lot going on with her. But you can have that groundedness, right? But still be emotionally messed up. Because the pain and the hurt has made you tough. And that gives you a sense of leverage. But the point is to use that leverage to rebuild your self-esteem and self-worth, but not by hurting others, not by yelling at your children, not by anything that has to deal with people from the outside. It's about growing and fulfilling that worth on the inside. Turning away the abusive relationships that keep knocking on your door because your self-esteem and self-worth is not at the level that it should be at. When, Renee, do I stop throwing in the fish? But when your self-esteem and self-worth is back to full capacity, or for 99% of you to the full capacity for the first time. And then you attract someone that is at the full capacity of self-esteem and self-worth that are not going to be ready to abuse you. Yeah? Make sense? Best course of action to take at this time is to stop worrying. Right? You see how it's really about the card, because you see how she'd rather sit in the cold with her child than go back there towards that light that's in the behind her. She can get up, grab her baby by the hand, and go towards the warmth that's behind her. That's the happiness. right? That's the bliss. But there's a conscious decision to say, I don't care, nobody's going to help me, I'm going to sit right here, right? Out in the cold, right? That's you accepting abuse. Because whatever's down there behind them trees, that warm light coming through, is not for you. It never was. So why are you going to go for it now? Because you deserve it, because you've earned it. So the best way to proceed with this advice, stop pretending like it don't exist, like you don't have a choice. Stop pretending like they're just doing all this stuff to me. These bad people, they're doing all this stuff. No, you letting them. Take the responsibility that everything that is after the second time, the first time is their fault. The second time is your fault that you let it happen. But anything after that is on you. You can't talk about the years that he abused you or the years that she abused you because you allow it to happen. Sitting with the blindfolds on, acting like you don't have a choice. Stop acting like you don't have a choice. You don't have to be abused. You could take whatever steps are necessary to be rid of abuse. But it's the feeling after, right? When there's nobody around to abuse you, that you fear. What you fear is, I can actually be happy, but I don't even know what that is or what that's about. I don't know what is that. I don't know how to obtain it, how to make it, how to live it, how to be it, how to breathe it. None of it. It is completely foreign to me. It's like dying, not knowing where you're going. It's a fear that keeps you blindfolded from the fact that if you are being abused, you don't want to be abused anymore, then move yourself from the situation. However it takes. Start from the bottom up. Sleep in your car with your babies. Whatever you have to do to keep from being abused and keep your children from seeing that abuse. And growing up to be abusers or abused even further. The guidance on how to proceed in the future. End it. It's the world card. Bring the abuse of your life to an end on all counts. From job to friends to lovers to family, all of it. Abusers are not going to stop being abusive. You just got to stop letting them in your world. The world card. You have to take them out of your world. There's no compromise. There's no friendship there. Because any part of it is going to lead to abuse. If they're abusive, they will be abusive as long as you know them and then in contact with them. I'm not saying people don't change, but they have to change themselves. There's nothing that you can do to change. Maybe you leaving and going off on your own will cause them to make some changes in themselves. Maybe. But you being there is an enabler for them to continue being abusive forever. To plan the expectation of what you expect to get from this result, this guidance, right? To begin to plan out, right? Because here's my Knight of Pentacles. You know I love him. The one that when the king yells charge, he sit back and he wait. So I just yelled charge. But you're going to wait. And you're going to plan your course of action. And you're going to move forward in your life and move on from this. Step by step. Step by step. Figuring out, wow, the best course of action, the best way to go, and move on out. That was Spiritual Awareness. I'm Renee Michelle. Stay tuned for The Fear of Happiness. Ashe, and stay blessed.